Good afternoon, everyone. First off, I want to say that I hope everyone is staying well and safe during these current unprecedented times with this recent health crisis that we've all been living through. But then I want to give you my name. My name is Kelsey Lynch. I am a Highway Safety Program Coordinator for the Office on Highway Safety at the Rhode Island Department of Transportation. And one of my areas that I cover is child passenger safety. Today, we're going into specifically how to be using and navigating the new digital checklist form, which was put forth by the National Child Passenger Safety Board and NHTSA. So why is that so important, and why is it important that we're using it? In my opinion, children are our most precious cargo, and tracking this data is going to allow our state to see where enforcement and misuse is happening and where we need to target our enforcement with our police departments and any CPSTs that are attending events or community engagements. So car crashes for children are a leading killer for children ages 1 to 13. And if you're using a child seat correctly, it can reduce the risk of infants under 1 year old being killed in a car crash by 71% and 1 to 4 years old by 54%. So using these seats the correct way and also documenting them so that state partners like myself and Andrea from Safe Kids Rhode Island, so that we can track and see what's happening in our own state, makes this tool extremely important. So this year, our office is switching off. In the past, police departments have used their own specific tools to be installing, doing their checks at their departments or at community events that they host or attend. We are switching off and using the digital checklist form to be a mandatory tool from now on, so that we at the state, but also Safe Kids Rhode Island, can be tracking the data that comes out of this. So they'll see every seat that's installed across Rhode Island, and where there is misuse, where there is issues with certain populations, and where we need to target our enforcement. So with that, and the person, my CPS guru, but also Safe Kid Rhode Island program coordinator, Andrea Celli, is gonna walk us through today on how to properly navigate the new digital checklist form. Andrea?
All right, Kelsey, thank you so much. I'm going to share my screen here with everybody so that I can walk you through. All right, so what you're going to do is come up to your browser and you're going to type in carseatcheckform.org, and you're going to get to this page here. So if you can see over on the right, it's going to kind of tell you what you need in order to sign up. So the first thing you need is either a PDF, JPEG, or PNG of your CPS certification. So your wallet card from Safe Kids Worldwide. So let's pop over to Safe Kids Worldwide and get that information. So if you type in cert.safekids.org, it'll take you to this page here. And then you're going to come over and click on login. And then log in one more time. Now they revamped their CPS login site. So it's, in my opinion, a little bit more user-friendly, so I like this. So you're gonna put your username and your password, and you're gonna log in. And this will show you where you need to log your CEUs for recertification, your community events, all of that will be here. So if you just kind of come down under action on the left-hand side, print wallet card. So we'll click on that. And then you can see my wallet card down here is downloading. So once that's done, we'll open that up. And here is the certification that I need to show the digital checklist form that I'm an actual certified technician. So it has my ID and the dates that I'm certified through. So you can take a screenshot of this and save it as a picture and upload it that way, or you can just save this PDF and then come back over, and we're going to create new account. And so you would pick a username, email address, It's going to ask you for your first, last name, the state that you're from, and then here is where you're going to choose the file to upload your certification. And then it asks you a couple more questions. Agency, if you're affiliated with an agency, so any police department, that would be your agency. I have put in already most, I think all, hopefully all, of the agencies in Rhode Island. So for instance, Barrington Police Department should already be there. So you would just type that in and it should come up. Barrington Police Department right here. If it does not come up, if you type in your agency and it's not there, you can create it here. So you would just put agency name and that's where you would create a new agency. And then we're gonna scroll down. It's gonna ask you a couple of terms and conditions of use. You're gonna hit accept, tell them you're not a robot, create a new account. Normally that will take, they say 1 to 3 days, I believe. But in my experience, 1 to 3 business days, it says. It was a lot faster. It was like hours. So depending on how busy they are, you know, you get a pretty good turnaround. So once you have your,
mine took a day. Yep. So I got mine this
okay.
morning. Yeah, it was super easy to follow through with too.
That's great. And then over here, if you ever have any questions, this info@carseatcheckform.org. So any questions specific to using their form, you can just email them. They're really good about getting back to you. If you enter something in incorrectly, they'll fix it for you. So they're really good about that. That kind of stuff I can't help you with, but I can help you with logging in and all of that. So once you have your username and your password, you're going to go ahead and log in. And I'm just going to show you a little bit about the web page. I'm not going to take you through an entire seat check though. So if we come up to the top, there's some resources here. So there is a PDF of a paper version of the checklist form. This one is just a generic checklist form. So we downloaded it. They were able to put Safe Kids Rhode Island's logo on it. So we have our own version of it, which I'm happy to send out to all of the Rhode Island techs. But if you were using, you know, just a generic one for whatever reason, that is there. There's a sign-in sheet that you can use if you're having an event. There's how-to guides for using the web, which I'm going to take you through now, and then also the app. So there is an app that you can use on your phone or a tablet when you're actually out in the field doing this, instead of going from paper and then entering it in on the computer later. So how to download the app and use that is all here for you. Other resources, you can download reports. So you can see here, I have dates and then these numbers. So each of these is a new car seat check that I did. So you can download all of that data that is under your name. So you can see how many checks you've done and you can go through the information that way. So let's create a form. So you would just go through and just fill out. It's very similar to the old paper forms. You're just going to go through and fill everything out. So the city and the state, this is the caregiver information. So not necessarily the city and state that the car seat check is being held in. I know that we do events in other cities. So this would be where the caregiver is from. So their address without putting in their street number. If you go to state here, and the very first one says training. So if you put in training, anything that you submit now is not going to be recorded. It's a training for everyone to kind of go through and get used to it. So that's what Kelsey and I are recommending everyone does. Once they're able to sign in, you have your account, put training in here and just go through, you know, play around with it, look at all of this stuff, and kind of move through it. I don't know if it's going to let me. Yeah. So if you miss something, it's not going to let you move forward, which is nice because then I'm not tracking you down, asking you, you know, weeks later about a particular car seat check. So you can see what's required. So again, we're not going to take you through the entire thing, but the main thing we want is everyone to know how to sign up, that you need to upload your certification from Safe Kids Worldwide, and that you can put training in under caregiver information, and then you can just go through and play around with it. The nice thing about this is it does skip fields. So if you're doing a booster seat and there's no harness to ask questions about because it's a booster seat, once you click booster seat, all the harnessing questions go away. So you get to skip all that stuff, which is really nice. It saves time. You know, the idea is to kind of streamline all of this information. So there's a little bit of a learning curve, but I think once you kind of play with it a little bit, it's a lot easier. Kelsey, do you have anything else to add?
Yes, just one more thing, guys. So I think Andrea did a fantastic job on making this super user-friendly, and it really does speak for itself once you start to navigate the form online. But if there's any concerns within departments on technological access, like if you don't have an iPad or a cell phone on hand, if you're doing a check, the next piece that is going to become mandatory is using the Safe Kids form that Andrea pointed out under the resource section. So no matter what, from now on, we are requiring that every department use that form. And that would mean that you would fill it out on the paper version, whether you print that out at your department or wherever. And then later you would go back into your account and fill out the data from that form. So you're making almost another step for yourself. I myself have done a couple of checks from my cell phone, and again, it flows right through. It's very easy to use, and you won't be allowed to go forward in the form unless everything is filled out, which I find super helpful. There's no room to forget anything. But again, if there's no access to a cell phone, or if you're not comfortable, or if your department doesn't have an iPad on hand, you would go through this form that Andrea is showing you now, fill out everything you would as if you were at one of the Safe Kids events that I'm sure many of you have attended, and come back to your account later to fill this in. Again, it's creating a second step, but it's ensuring that no matter what, you're getting all of the correct data necessary so that when it does get entered into the digital site, we're getting the same data across the board. We're not getting checks that were half done. So no matter what, this will be the form that you're using, whether it's online or whether you've printed this out and you're using this at your department for scheduled checks or events.
And if you guys do have any questions about using this form or the online form, I'm happy to help answer any questions.
Absolutely. Same here. We are actually.
Well, thank you guys. Let me stop sharing my screen here. So yeah, please contact us with any questions. I'm sure everybody has my email, but I'm sure Kelsey will add that when we send this out.
Yes, thank you everybody so much. And again, like she said, we're here as a resource. If any of this is confusing or new to you as new techs, we're here to help. We want to help. And this is going to make our state so much safer, especially for children. And we're going to have this tool to a statewide piece of data on every seat that's being checked, which I'm very excited about. But again, I hope everybody is staying well and safe. And hopefully we'll see everybody again soon in person. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.